Hello, 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 and welcome back to some more Rune Factory 2. Water can only run. In the last episode, we planted a bunch of four-leaf clovers and whatnot, and I left a note for myself to gather up, like, just a bunch of cows and sheep and whatnot. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I should go and try to expand my barn. That's probably going to be important. Also, I finally, 70 flippin' episodes in, I finally fixed my controls. Finally. So now I can actually use the analog stick in place of the D-pad. Yo, where's, like, the mayor? Where's the mayor? Do I have to go ask a mom? Hi, what's up? Hey!
How are you?
Ah! Mayor! Okay, apparently I can't discuss issues with the mayor. Might be able to in a little bit. Alright, so, recent news, right, there was a Steam sale that went on today, starting today. Well, today as of recording, so, you know, the 21st. I got a few games, including Game of the Year, Baldur's Gate 3. It's still downloading. But I got it. I bought it, it's still downloading. I really, really hope that my little handheld device can flip and play Baldur's Gate 3. Otherwise, I might be in a little bit of trouble. I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually, but if my handheld can't play it, I'll find something that can. Otherwise, that, however, episode is not going to be coming up right away because it has an approximately 100-hour playtime to it. I'm thinking I'll have that as a semi-daily series instead of being a weekly series. Because, I mean, I could upload Baldur's Gate once a week for about 2 years. Yeah, all of 2024 and 2025, just Baldur's Gate. I could do that. Yeah, I guess I have a few weeks to decide. Do I want to have it set up as a weekly series for, like, 2 years? Or as a semi-daily series? Let's see, if I do 100 videos, that'll be about 200 days. I might be able to do it as a semi-daily series and spread it out to a year. Oh gosh, now here's the question. Do I just cut off Magicraft where it is? I feel like I can cut off Magicraft where it is and start Baldur's Gate 3 with the new year, yeah. I feel like I can just do that, so instead of recording a bunch of extra Magicraft, I think I have enough done. I'll have to check my upload specifically, but you know what? I can start uploading Baldur's Gate as a semi-daily series for... I could try for all of 2024 for one game series. Okay, so if I go up here... If I go into here... So I can at least do this. Okay, okay. So I can at least get 16 cows, but that's still not the 24 that I want. And I still have to wait till about 6-ish. Wait a second. Yeah, this is probably fine. Because, I mean, it won't be for quite a while, right? Once... They'll take about... What is it? 2 seasons for the 4-leaf clovers to grow. And it will probably take about that long for the cows to fully grow. Oh yeah, plus I guess I should get more grass seeds to fill up the fields with, because I only have so many. I only have so much food. So anyway, let's go and try to grab an extra 16 cows. Sure, let's see. Yeah, by the time of recording this... By the time of recording this, I've already gotten all of the achievements of Magicraft, at least. And maybe I'll throw in some other episodes of it here and there if I ever need to upload something. I'll just have a few extra episodes of Magicraft ready to go. That seems about fair. Alright, cow? No, that's a chipmunk. Cow? Again, chipmunk. Cow. Where do the cows spawn? Thought the cows spawn right there, but apparently they don't. Okay, hold on a second. Rune Factory 2 cow. Moo cow. Oh, the giant boulder! Well, it's a good thing we have our hammer. Just eat it. Z-O-W space 1. Actually, you know what? Cow 01. Da-da-da-da! have the watering beasts, that... And I have an extra sheep, but I'm not going to keep that one. Cow 2. Yeah, I'm just gonna be catching a whole bunch of cows. 16 cows, right? Cow 3. This is fine. So I really, really hope that Baldur's Gate 3 is a game that I'll actually find fun enough to want to play for hours and hours on end. Cow 4. Dude, they got rid of the... Cow 5? They got rid of the brushing glove eventually, right? One, two, three, four, 5. Cool. Yeah, because Rune Factory 4, you just throw items at animals, and then that's how you, like, recruit them and stuff, which is why a throwing items only challenge in Rune Factory 4 would be so incredibly difficult. Cow 6, because, what, 99% of stuff you could throw at enemies, they'll just take as gifts. So you basically have to find, like, boxes and stuff around. Most of the rooms don't have, like, boxes. And they only last for, like, one throw anyway. You know what? Screw it. Cow 7. Rune Factory 4, throwing items only. Basically, you would have to make failure dishes and throw those at enemies. Formula hide and... bad dish. Like, make a whole bunch of bad dishes to throw at enemies. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cow 8. Also, lately I've been getting kind of hooked back on a VR game. Cards and Tankards. A game that I'm not going to do Let's Plays of, but because it involves playing card games, like, with other people. In theory, I could do Let's Plays of it if either A, I didn't care about the privacy of other people, which, truth be told, I do care about the privacy of other people. I believe this is Cow 9. Or if I just fight against either A, only fight against the AI, or B, only go into taverns where I can guarantee that all of the other people in those taverns are fine with, like, being recorded. 8, 9. I should get the game for my handheld here and see if I can play it with, like, just the basic inbuilt controls. And just have that be a nice casual game to play. Cow 10. Yeah, turns out there's, like, ranking stuff now. You can take part in like the tournament, whatever, get rank ups, and if you're like certain tiers at the end of the season, you get in-game currencies. So like if you're like at least bronze level, you can get like gold, which you can just get from winning or even losing games anyway. But if you make it up to gold rank, bronze, silver, gold, and it's like platinum, special, mythic, or something like that. Make it up to at least gold rank, then you can get gems. Is this 12? Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. So yeah, unfortunately my VR headset battery only lasts like an hour for some reason. Now 13. Now 14. So I can't get a lot of games in at one. I want to say sitting, but it's VR. I'm standing. No, right now I'm sitting. When I do VR, I'm generally always standing. 13, 14. And I've played, I think, 7 ranked games, and I've won every single one of them. To be fair, one of them, the person left the game, like, before we started, so that was an automatic win, but the other 6, I think one of them, the person... Yeah, I think a second one, the person only lasted, like, 2 turns before they left. That's still 5 games I authentically won. To be fair, bottom tier. I'm sure once I get into like silver and gold, that it'll be a lot more challenging and I'll actually lose games. But I managed to make it into bronze tier after, 2 hours of playing in ranked. And in all fairness, I already had a good deck that I had brewed up myself. Gosh, one person I played against, though, complained that apparently everyone, or, a lot of people that they have been ranked, like, paired up with, are kids just playing removal. Just mono removal. No actual proper synergies or anything, just everything in the deck. It's either, like, destroy creatures, bounce creatures, or take control of creatures. And that's all that they did. And, like, I'm going to state that that's not the entire purpose of my deck, but that is stuff that my deck can do, you see. I mean, having removal is, generally speaking, useful. Being able to deal with opposing creatures and all that is just good to have access to. So I have some removal. I have, like, 1 bounce spell and 1, like, brain control spell. Oh, right, I need the milker for those. Ugh. Do I have the basket with me? No. And so here's the question. Do I really need the potions anymore? I don't really need the potions so much, right? So mostly, yeah. I'll put 2 of them away, I guess. Oh, right, the brush. So I want to use the brush to make the monsters like me more, right? If I known that I actually did have to expand the barn, I would have done that forever ago as well. Whoops. Right, with these, it's just a matter of gathering the supplies. Eggs. Eggs. Oh, okay, eggs. Alright. Yeah. Guys they're complaining about how he keeps playing against people running like mono removal. I'm like, I'm gonna destroy a creature. Yeah, I have a very weird deck archetype right now that's... I mean, it seems to work. Essentially, it's... Uh, how do I even explain it? Okay. So, the lead card is... Okay, in Cards and Tankards, there are, I think, 4 different guilds you can build a deck around. Depending... So you can have 1 main guild, and you can have 3... Let's say... No. You can have 1 main guild, 1 secondary guild, and then you're not allowed to use cards from the other 2 guilds. So for the main guild, I have Dungeon Master. Essentially, it is a 1 power, 30 health creature that just sits in play. And its health is linked to my life points. So people always start with 30 health. All the different Dungeon Masters have 30 health. It does not count as a creature for anything that cares about creatures. However, it can attack and it can block. The attacks are... Yeah, what is it? Yeah. All creatures deciding to attack simultaneously, and then the defender chooses how to block 1 creature at a time. There are no instants. There are no instant speed cards that you can play from your hand. There are no instant speed abilities. Everything that a player does is on their turn during their main phase. And that's it. Like, all of the stuff that they put out specifically. So yeah, for your turn, you draw your card automatically. You have your main phase, you do your stuff. You can choose to set attackers if you wish. And then if you do set attackers, it goes to combat, where the other player can choose how they wish to block, if they do wish to block. And then they pass through the blockers phase to their own turn. Alright, 16 cows. I really don't think that 1 brushing... No, 1 brushing is enough to get them to friend level 1. Okay, then. No. Let's go to the school. I want to try making some, like, grape juice. I have a bit of extra health. I can keep trying. On each player's turn, starting with their first turn, they get a +1 boost to maximum, mana, as well as flat out getting +1 mana. No, sorry. +1 boost to maximum mana and a complete refill of mana. as far as I've seen, there's no way to increase the max amount of mana a player has. Other than that, there is a way to temporarily give you more mana. That's what, like, the Nature Guild does. You can essentially remove creatures from your hand to give yourself an extra mana or something so you can play out your bigger creatures faster, and then some of them have the mastery effect, where you can then take those cards and play them again, and like from the mastery zone or whatever. I really don't know what that is all about. I got 1 rune point from that, so I'm just about to level up. So each guild has a special thing that it can allow you to do if you have it as your main guild. So there's the Dungeon Master Guild, where if that's your main, then you get a Dungeon Master, which is really nice, because if you have Dungeon Master and you go first, you can just go, like, even if you don't have a turn 1, like, card to put out, you can just go, cool, attack you for 1, turn 1. Before the opponent actually gets a chance to do anything, you can just attack them. It's nice, it's useful, it's fun. Let's see, the Plundering Guild, where if that's your main, you get 1 coin every turn at the start of your turn. Plundering Guild cards allow you to use coins to unlock extra abilities of cards. And using a coin with the card permanently changes that card for the rest of the game. So a creature might be like, say, a 1 costing 1/1, but for the cost of 2 coins, it gets +1/+1. So you take the card from your hand, put it onto the image representing that you have coins, and if you have at least 2 coins will be removed, and instead of a 1/1, it'll be a 2/2, but it will lose the ability that you can pay coins to get rid of power and health boost. Because you already did that. But then, if, say, you play out that creature, it dies, and you wind up getting it back to your hand or something, it'll still be a 2/2. It'll still have that boost.
Morning.
Well, okay then. Oh, wait, is this the one where it's like a race to tame a monster as fast as possible? Oh, shoot. No. No. I want to... So, yeah. Plundering Guild is a lot of fun to play and really could not be done with paper cards. Because there are quite a few of the cards that's like, hey, when you play this, give a card in your hand a permanent +1 health. And like I said, those boosts are permanent, so I kind of want to make a Plundering Guild deck that's just filled with stuff like that. It's just creatures that keep pumping the cards in your hand, and maybe also stuff to draw extra cards. Just keep playing creatures that boost the creatures in your hand, and then play the boosted creatures in your hand. So that will then also boost more creatures in your hand. There's one of them that's like, hey, it's like, what's it, a 5 costing 2/3 that normally makes a token copy of itself when it enters, but if you pay 3 coins, it'll actually make 2 copies of itself. But if you can, like, you know, boost it up, make it, say, like, a nice 4/4, 5 mana and, like, 3 coins for 3 4/4s is decent. Then there's the Nature Guild, which, as I mentioned, you basically remove cards from your hand to get temporary mana to use to play bigger creatures, and then Mastery effects will let you replay creatures from that removed zone. So usually it seems to be like, when your creature dies, Mastery 2! And then you get like a 2-cost creature out at random. It's like, you know, whatever. You run through cards really fast in that guild. And then there's like the Magic Guild, which allows you to play contracts. It's like, as long as this effect is true, you get this. Like, as long as you have at least 3 creatures with health higher than their power, your creatures attack with their health instead of their power. And the guild has a lot of creatures with health higher than their power naturally. I think one is a 2 or 3 costing like 1/4 with flying or something. And then, of course, the Dungeon Master Guild. Yes, it has the Dungeon Master, but it's also focused on, what? Getting out... It's either A, getting out cheap creatures and killing them, such as the Bone Amalgam, which is a 0/1. No cost because it's only ever made as a token. However, it gets +1/+1 for each Bone Amalgam in your graveyard, so if you play a bunch of stuff that gives you Bone Amalgams, and then you keep sacrificing them, then they'll start being really nice and big. There's one card I want to add to my deck, but somehow I still don't have any copies of it. That's basically just a 2-drop 1/1 that when it enters you make a Bone Amalgam. So 2 cost for a 1/1 and a 0/1. And considering that my deck is built around getting out cheap creatures to sacrifice to boost all my creatures, that seems pretty nifty. Yeah, turn 2, play that, get the Bone Amalgam. Turn 3... Yeah, no, turn 2, sacrifice the Bone Amalgam. Turn 3, sacrifice the 1/1. Play Necromancy to bring it back out for 1 mana. Get another Bone Amalgam, this time at a 1/1. And then play the Soul Absorption card that I get from my deck master from sacrificing creatures using its ability.
Morning.
And then give them both +2/+2. Wait, they can't attack this turn. Oh, whatever.
Morning.
Still, though. Yep, the deck master I chose, you can activate it, so by making it unable to attack for the turn... Yeah, oh, okay, what is this? So I have to release a monster so I can take part in this. Alright. So the whole deck is just, you know, little creatures to sacrifice, stuff to sacrifice creatures to draw extra cards. And one particular creature, 3 costing 2/2, but whenever you play a spell, it gets +1/+1 permanently. So I get whatever the benefit of the spell is, plus my creature gets bigger. Stay for spring cleaning. If this is not fast enough to win first place, I'm gonna have to reload. Root Levelizer! Grand prize! No one. Yeah, I wish this thing just had a screen. I guess I could make one of these back buttons a screenshot button.
Morning.
So it's 32 per day. Grass takes 2 days to regrow. I'm going to need another... So this is 16, right? Another 8. Going to need another 20. So that'd be 52. So I'm going to be needing 104 grass. 104 divided by 9. Should be about 12 fields. So I basically need an extra 8 fields for grass. I'm decently certain that grass can grow in any weather. So I can use the fall field space and the winter field space and grow a bunch of grass in there and there. Yeah, I'll have to water all myself, but that's easy enough. Right? See it. Yeah, the deck is mostly just a aggro out at the beginning with, you know, my deck master and some cheap creatures to get some early damage to bring their life total, you know, a little bit lower. Use cheap creatures to block their creatures. Just, you know, over and over again. So I can keep myself nice and safe until I can really get one of those beholder things, the 3-cost 2/2s that raise with spells, and then just cast a bunch of spells to boost it up to obsessive levels and keep attacking with it, while also using the removal I have in the spells that boost my beholders, usually, to remove their creatures. Yeah. Sort of game, do some sort of aggro control stuff to keep their board small. Oh! Also, in the interest of 1, keeping the opponent's board small, and 2, buffing my own field, there are special cards that can get made, like tokens that get shuffled into your deck, basically, that get auto-cast when you draw them. And I have some of these things. Simon came by to say hi. So, like, I think it's a 3-cost 2/2. No. Maybe. Might be a 3/2. I think it's a 2/2. I could pay a coin to give it an extra 2 health. I usually don't do that. Yes, it is a Plunderer's Guild card. However, whenever another creature enters the battlefield, I get a Call to Adventure card added into my deck. Call to Adventure, what that does is, when you draw this card, create a 2/2 adventure token, and then draw another card. So it's basically a 0-cost 2/2 that cantrips. However, you can't just hold it in your hand, blah blah blah, you have to use them immediately. That did backfire slightly. Well, not even backfire. It did become a moot point slightly in one of the games that I had today. I think it was today. Where I had... I mean, yeah, technically I've only been playing it today. Because last night was... whatever. Where I had that... where I already had the limit of... like, the maximum number of creatures I could put out. And then I still drew, like, 4 more of this. 4 more adventurers, and the cards just kind of went away and did nothing. But I still drew new cards out of it, so... you know, worst case scenario, it's nothing. I think literally all I need is the Moonflower, right? Yeah. No. Moonflower, and there was another thing. It wasn't Scrap Iron. I got that thing. Shoot! What do I need? Was it kill some things? Was it gather up some stuff? I was too focused on getting the Moonflower. It wasn't kill the Tundras, right? No, no, no. It's kill the Orc boss guys. Right. You know what? Screw it. I can work on that now. The old kitty wants love and attention. Yeah, keep the magic crystal, because that can be used for something later on. But I can totally sell all of this stuff. If I ever need extra ore, I can get it. Reliably and easily. Alright, wait a second. It says for... yeah, no one knows why, but it will level you up. I also need to just finish off like an apple or two just to get an extra fast and easy level. Just like real quick. I mean, I guess I could keep turning these into juices, so I might as well keep these up and in easy to access range. Radio. So there are a few cards I'm still missing from my deck, but you can't so easily buy singles in this game, which is kind of annoying. You can buy generic booster packs that contain 6 random cards, and of course different cards have different rarities. Booster Pack doesn't seem to be like, oh, one rare, some uncommons, and the rest common cards. It just seems to be like 6 random cards with a leaning in certain ways. Because I know that I've gotten multiple rares in a booster before. You can only have... Technically, since you can only run 6 copies of... Since you can only run 3 copies of a card in a deck, you can only have 3... You can only own up as many as 3 copies of a card just in your collection. If you get any more beyond the 3rd, the game will just automatically sell any extras that you get. And of course, the sell rate... Yeah, So, like, cards will sell for, like, 10, 20, or 40, I think. Based on rarity. Booster Pack costs 200, so it is technically possible to pull, like, 5 out of 6 rares that you already have of and just repay the pack of, but usually it's, like, 10s or 20s. So you might get, like, sell, like, 3 or 4 of the cards and get 50 coins of your money back. Basically pay 150 for 2 new cards. Because it tries to pay for it. The cost of itself. Oh, right. Reminding is going to be awkward with a cat on my arms. Hey! 2 damage, yo! It wouldn't let me pause the game. I literally have to push through Catbird just to get to the pause. Yo, kitty wet nose. What are you doing, kitty? What's that, 4? Out of 70 attacks, I've done 4? 5? So wait, didn't I want a bunch of, like, levelizers so I could fight this? Woohoo! 7 attacks. Okay, anyway. Oh, the crit dealt 5? That's weird. I mean, hey, doing a lot better than hitting for 1 at a time. Ouch. No. I'd love to lure one of these enemies far away from the other. But they are, like, super glued together. But anyway, the game is free to play on Steam, so if you have, you know, a Steam account, even if you don't have VR, you can still play it. I've had a... Okay, Simmons had enough cuddle time. Just noticed that this has been a slight issue. Excuse you. Oh, I guess just die in the dungeons at all. You can't revive. Gosh, playing this game just feels so much nicer when I can just Nom 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 nom. Level up. Attack is still 43 though. Yep. So I feel like after I record this, I'm probably gonna go back and try to play some more of that, because it's nice, it's fun. I'm gonna play it for as long as I'm enjoying it. I think every game, yeah, was it? If you win, you get 150 XP, and I think like 20 coins? I'm not sure how many coins. It's not a lot. You have to win quite a few times in order to save up enough for a booster pack. But yes, there's XP because you can level up. And it seems like every level you get like 50 coins, except for every 5th level you get like an extra prize. At least a different prize, so sometimes it might be like a rare card. And like an accessory for your, you know, in-game avatar to wear, except in order to get that accessory, you have to be paying for like real money for like the prestige, the promo, the whatever thing. It's like, yeah, join our special club. You get like extra accessories and stuff. Oh, no, wait. That was just on the wolf, wasn't it? No, and no. Bloop. You know what? Yeah, Steam sale is going on. I wonder if I could find a nice card game to play. Because I remember, like, forever ago, I once played a card game battle or whatever type game where it's just, you go through and you play the card game against people. And I guess Versus of Enchantment, technically, like, you fight against people, you get cards, build up your deck, blah blah blah, but that's not... that doesn't have the same, like, feeling as other more traditional trading card games or collectible card games. No. No, 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 no. No, you don't. Okay, yes, he did. Okay, if it's just the orc, this wouldn't be so difficult. But the orc has a companion. Why does the orc Viking have a golden wolf companion? I have to wonder, the barricades that are around, specifically the ones where you have to get them stuff, not the ones where you just have to walk around them, that are partially there so in Act 1 you can't explore so much. Would it be like you already knew what the barricade wanted? And you managed to just give them the thing during Act 1? Would it just be all like, no, why would I give this thing, like, you know, apples? That would be weird. I think it would be neat if you could get through those barricades in Act 1, but in order to get through, like, the gates... I guess those would be gates, and the wooden barriers would be the barricades. Okay. If you could, like, open up the gates in Act 1, so you could at least have, you know, some form of progress that can be made. Oh, come on. I've gotten at least a good dozen or 2 dozen or so. Probably more. Use the potion. Use the potion. I feel like I want to try to get another authentic level. You know, like another level up. So I'm doing from somewhere from 2 to 3 damage per hit. Usually 2. Gosh, if only I had been counting all my damage this whole time. Excuse me. Yes! I killed 1. I am almost dead, but I killed 1. Still have a few more to kill, but I got that. Yeah, I really doubt. Yeah. I mean, make 3 more potions, go in again, try to get a second one dead. It's only 6, that took about, what, 2 hours to do? Fine, make 3 more potions. Go back in. do this again. Shoot, I'm trying to subtly go on Discord on my phone to check out a notification I got. So like, oh, it's a server. Notification is server. Okay, let me just go into that chat. And it's a chat for a completely different server that I don't have a notification in. And it's like, yeah, this is what someone's trying to say. It's like, that's not what I'm trying to look at here, folks. That's not the topic of discussion here at this moment. Because sometime last night I remembered, just basically out of the blue, way back to my many hours of playing Halo 3, including and notably playing in Forge mode, which I did most of the time that I played because Forge mode was really fun. And having to look down while you're flying. Was it? Yeah. You look straight down and you hold the ascend button while holding like the sprint button or whatever. Or like while moving the stick or something. Oh, the bathhouse is broken. And that allowed you to move faster than if you just like sprinted forward in fly mode. Sprinting upward forward in fly mode just moves you. I'm not sure if it was like twice as fast, but I think it was very noticeably faster. So it's like, well, yeah. I also remember noticing that it seemed like a lot of the big, like, inspiration, you know, creativity, inspiration, whatever, kind of died. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sometime between Halo 3 and Halo Reach. Now, Halo 3 was out for a long time. Halo Reach came out and it had like new tools for building and stuff. And it's like people took that and just went, oh, cool, anyway, whatever. And it's like... Because in Halo 3, if you wanted to get something to float in the air, it was kind of tricky. It's like, because gravity only applies to certain objects. Other objects, like teleporters, gravity will not apply to them. And, sure, whatever. However, gravity will still apply to all objects, even objects that gravity is not supposed to apply to, during the first, like, while you are making it. So if you just, like, put a teleporter in midair, it'll just sit there. Like, it will not just sit there, it will fall. Because, you know, that's what gravity does, it makes things fall. So it's like, okay, well, how do we make that different? How do we not make that happen? Well, turns out you have to put something down below it, then put the teleporter on top of it, let it sit without moving for like 3 seconds, and then it'll be locked in place, and it won't fall anymore. Or be able to really be moved by anything at all, ever. And the quite a few maps of people taking objects that normally always have gravity applied to them and managing to make them seemingly float by putting, like, teleporters down and then putting the objects on top of them. So you can have, like, a map that's just floating in the air on, like, you know, shipping containers or something due to this little technique, this little trick. Oh, Dad, I'm so glad I decided to come over here. Wait a second, I'm curious. Oh gosh, killing that orc beast thing gave so little XP. One of these. Anyway. So, like, the easiest way to do this is by having another person, or at the very least having another controller with you, so you can say, have one player holding the shipping container in place, so the other person can, like, put the teleporter on top of it, then just keep holding it in place, and then move it. If you don't have another player, or, like, another controller to work with, then you'd have to basically put an object down on the... either A, build up to the point where you want the teleporter to sit, and then try to make it fly enough to put the teleporter on. Sometimes possible, sometimes not so feasible. Or B, just have the, put, say, the shipping container or whatever on the ground, put the teleporter on top of it, quickly drop it in place, grab the shipping container, lift it up to position, and try to keep it flat enough that the teleporter doesn't move out of its position before it locks in place. And if you want a lot of floating stuff, you have to do this a lot. And I also remember, I remember 3 specific glitches, things that I'm reasonably certain were not intended to be done. One I found out on my own. I didn't have to be told about it. I'm sure other people found out about it too, but I wasn't. But again, no one told me about it. The shipping containers. Normally they come in, I think it was 2 different types. Like, yeah, they were small and large, but they were open and they were closed. It's like open ones, you know, open at either end, you can run through, blah, 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 no big deal. They behaved normally. The closed ones, closed at both ends, generally, you know, no way into them. However, if you manage to put a teleporter inside a closed shipping bin, not specifically, you know, put a teleporter where the beam of it is inside, but the base of it is still outside, because that will still teleport you outside the shipping bin, but actually have the full teleporter inside the shipping bin. You can do this by marking off a location, say by having a floating shipping bin, or just whatever, a shipping bin just under where you want the special you want to go. Put the closed shipping bin down on top of it, or, you know, in place wherever you want it. Set it to not respawn immediately. Give it like 30-second or a minute like delay before it spawns into the map initially. Save the map, reload the map. Shipping bin will not be there because it takes a minute to spawn in, because you just set it to be like that. Put down a teleporter, 2-way is recommended, inside the place where the shipping bin container will eventually spawn in. Link it up with the teleporter outside where it is going to be. Wait for it to spawn in. Then you can set the shipping container to spawn in when the map does. And then boom, you can get inside a closed shipping container. I wonder if I should be concerned that Bethesda is going to patch this. I wonder if it has been patched, actually. Maybe I should try that sometime. So yeah, you can use this to get inside a closed shipping container. What's that going to do, though? I mean, we've been in shipping containers before, right? We've been in the open ones. There's nothing useful about that. Well, you see, this one, it has collision, so you can't get into it, but there's no collision to stop objects from going out. Okay. No, that's not quite accurate. There is collision, so players and most objects do not exit it. I had made a map once with like a floating shipping container with like a little mini like sniper's nest on top of it, but also set up so you can go inside of it. And if you're inside it, you can walk around and you can see out of it on all sides. The inside is not programmed to be solid walls, so you can see through it. It's like a one-way. It's also set up. Not set up. It's also by default made that bullets can exit the shipping container, but they cannot go into it. So say you are inside the floating shipping container sniper's nest. Someone comes on up top, like grabs a sniper rifle, prepares to shoot. You can just kind of look up and shoot right at them. It's basically an impenetrable base as long as no one can figure out how to get into it, as long as they can't reach your teleporter. And you could always put the teleporter somewhere that you could see from the shipping bins to make sure that nobody tries to get in. Or put like a box in there to cover the teleporter so no one can manage to get in. Then, boom, no one can shoot you. I think the only thing that they could really do to stop you is throwing a grenade. And if it explodes close enough, you might still be able to be in the blast radius. I'm not sure. But yeah, you're basically fine. Second glitch. Again, I don't think this is intended. If you grab a machine gun turret, look all the way up, and then detach it, you can go through some walls. Only like thin walls. So you usually can't get out of the map, but there are one or two maps that have one or two places where you can actually escape the map this way. It's kind of neat to play around with, make a little puzzle thing. There are some objects that are like thin enough that you can like break through them this way. The third one, I don't know actually how it works, but you can make a clone of yourself. It's like you snap a machine gun turret and go on a conveyor belt or something, and it just makes a double of your body, except the host of the game sees a dead corpse just lying on the ground. Everyone else in the game sees the dead corpse standing. Yeah, it's like rip off the machine gun thing on a conveyor belt and kill yourself. And it'll like glitch and everyone else will see you just standing there. I don't know how that works, but it's neat to play around with. I think if you're playing in solo, you can see it for yourself and it works. Otherwise, it's either A, the host is the only one who can't see it, or B, players can only see it for each other. It was really interesting to watch happen, though. I really don't know how that worked. I was too busy playing with shipping containers. Oh yeah, there's also the glitch where you can have a flying impervious where you can make a vehicle that's immune to damage and gravity. You need co-op to make it. You need multiplayer to make it work. But it is quite a lot of fun to like drive a mongoose off of a sand dune and have someone just whack it with like a radio antenna in Forge mode. That one specifically is Forge mode only. The others you can play with in regular, but that one can only be done in Forge mode because someone has to be holding an object, specific object that you can choose at the time of doing the glitch, in order for the vehicle to be immune to damage and gravity. It's just fun to play around with, is all. That game was fun. I want to find a group and just do a nice Let's Play of just Halo 3 custom maps. Who knows, maybe one day.